Backstage Pass with Bob Sands on KSJB is brought to you by Valley Sales, the distributor of the Budweiser family of beers.
Now, getting you closer than anyone else can. Your Backstage Pass.
And the Big North Dakota Classic Country KSJB. Welcome to Mickey Gilley. Mickey, how you doing today?
Actually, well, I'm doing pretty good. After my fall almost 4 years ago, I've come back to the point that I'm walking more now, and I'm still doing my show at the theater. I can't play the piano just yet. I can't play golf yet. My balance is not totally back, but I've improved probably not 100%. I'd say I'm about 75%.
Well, now, Mickey, what happened when you fell? What was the deal there?
Well, I make a little joke of it in the show. I was helping a friend of mine. I played 36 holes for golf that day, and I happened to help a friend of mine move a little piece of furniture, about love seat, weighed about 40 pounds. And I picked up one end, he picked up the other, and I was backing out the door, and I stepped in a flower bed and fell backwards. And I damaged 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 in my vertebrae. And being as old as I am, it takes a long time to heal. So I was paralyzed from the neck down for about a little bit over 3 months. And I'm back to performing again, and so I'm very fortunate to really be alive.
Well, absolutely. And, a fall like that, any kind of a fall is something that could happen to any of us. Most of the time we end up catching ourselves, but it doesn't take much to go down.
Well, I fell off of out of a little porch. It was about 24 inches high. Fell right on a full force on my back and neck. It's one that broke my neck, but they when I woke up, I had a neck brace on and I was paralyzed. I couldn't move, but I'm back to performing now and working, and everything still works. My hands don't work well enough to play the piano because they're still damaged, but I'm singing the songs, and I'm doing my live story in music here at the theater, which I'm getting some great comments on the show. I signed autographs last night after I finished the performance, and people come through the autograph line and said, they thought the show was fabulous, because I'm taking them all the way from 1957 when I started, all the way into the 90s when I had the Chasing Rainbow CD that had some great songs on it, but wasn't any hits on it.
Now,
I've had 17 number one songs, so I can fill the show up with the music. So I'm doing all 17 number one songs.
Well, your songs are fabulous, Mickey. Now, you're down there in Branson, Missouri at the Mickey Gilley Theater. And and then don't you have another kind of like nightclub like the Gilleys you had down there in Texas also?
We have a Gilley's in Treasure Island in Vegas, a great club. And I go out there and play it once a year. We got one in Durant, Oklahoma, a Gilley's there. And we have a Dallas store that's open. And they were working on opening one up in Hollywood, Florida, but it's on hold right now. They got it about 90% finished, and they shut it down for the time being. I don't know what the problem is, but we licensed them to use the Gilley logo on it. Hopefully they're going to get it straightened out and open, soon. But I've been trying to keep the brand name out there, and they're working on another one in Oklahoma, too. So I hadn't got the city yet, but they tell me that they're working on another Gilley's in Oklahoma.
Mickey Gilley's my guest from Branson, Missouri, from the Mickey Gilley Theater on Classic Country KSJB. And I tell you honestly, Mickey, your songs are just absolutely my favorites. Every Mickey Gilley song with your piano playing and all of the different titles and songs in your catalog that you have, every one of them is a bell ringer. I mean, I could listen to Mickey Gilley songs day in, day out.
Well, I appreciate that. Bob, I had some recordings in the 90s that I made that for a couple of different record companies, and I had some good songs in the albums, but they didn't get any exposure. But I'm doing some of the songs in the show, and I'm having people come through the autograph line and tell me, said, "Where'd you find those songs?" And I said, "Well, it's on the Chasing Rainbow CD." And I said, "The whole CD is full of great songs, but they didn't get any exposure."
Now,
but,
Mickey,
I'm doing some of the songs in the show. So the bottom line is I'm still enjoying doing what I do. At being 77 years old and still been able to go out there and perform the songs is quite a blessing for yours truly.
All right. Well, I'm up there myself. You only have 6 years on me.
Well, I tell everybody, when you get in your 70s, don't move any furniture. Call 2 men in a truck.
Now, I tell you what, we've got to play some of your songs this hour, and here's one that folks don't normally hear your treatment of this song, and I'll tell you what, this one touches my heart. This is the best treatment of this particular song that I've heard anybody ever do. Mickey, let's do your, Mickey Gilley, do your I Love You Because. Remember that one, Mickey?
I Love You Because. I'm just trying to think. It's on one of the older albums, I think.
Yeah, and that's, now, of course, I Love You Because that's one that Ernest Tubb did years ago.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah. Some of the tunes, I recorded so many different CDs and albums back when in the 70s and 80s. Couldn't keep up with all of them.
I like Ernest Tubbs, but I like yours better.
Well, thanks.
Well, tell you what, let's listen to it. I Love You Because. And Mickey, Mickey Gilley, would you be my guest disc jockey here, and you set it up, and you intro it, and I'll play it, okay?
All right. Here's a tune. I've always loved the old music, but this is one of my favorites also. I Love You Because.
Classic Country, KSJB. Mickey Gilley, I Love You Because. Mickey Gilley's my guest this afternoon from Branson, Missouri. That's A number one, Mickey.
Well, you know what I thought you were going to play was That's All That Matters to Me, because that's one of my favorite recordings, and I think it's one of the best records I ever made as far as a love song is concerned.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've got it here, and we're going to do it, too. I mean, absolutely, that's one of my favorites. It's hard to pick out my absolute favorite Mickey Gilley song, because actually they're all my favorites.
Well, I appreciate that. The best song ever handed to me was The Girls Getting Pretty Close in Time.
Oh, yeah, and I tell you what, of course, I've been talking about you coming on today, so I played that out of our 3:30 headlines already. In 1974, when Roomful of Roses hit for me, and then I had Roomful of Roses, I had Overlooked an Orchid, The Wind Up Above, and City Lights. So the folks were kind enough to accept me into the country music field. Had 4 #1 songs in a row, so I feel like that my career has been a great ride. Oh, absolutely. And, of course, another Mickey Gilley song that I've always liked through the years, and I thought hopefully we can get to that. We should get to that this afternoon, too. City Lights.
City Lights was written by Bill Anderson. It was an old Ray Price tune. And the incredible thing about it was that the country music fans accepted me into the fold by recording songs that had been previously recorded by other artists. Mm-hmm. And that made me feel very, good about my career at the time, too.
And, of course, all of these songs that you're talking about recorded by other country artists, when you recorded them, you put your stamp on them, and actually they became your songs when you did them, because you did them the best.
Yeah, I make a little comment in the show when I do the medley, and I say when I get to the Wind Up Above, I said George Jones wrote it, Mickey Gilley sung it.
I tell you what, Mickey, are you able to hold for a while? Have you got a little time here to spend in the 4 o'clock hour?
Well, I'm on my cell phone, so I don't know how long my battery's going to hold up. But I'll stay with you till the battery dies.
Okay, well, I have to play, radio. We've got to pay some bills and play some commercials, and we'll just come right back after we burn some of these off. Is that all right?
Okay, yeah.
All right. Mickey Gilley's my guest from Branson, Missouri, and we'll be right back after this. My guest this afternoon is Mickey Gilley from Branson, Missouri on Classic Country KSJB. Are you still there, Mickey?
Oh, I'm with you.
Okay, great. You guys, you have such a talented family. Your cousins, you've cousins Jerry Lee Lewis and Jimmy Swigert. You guys grew up in Natchez, Mississippi, and used to play out in the backyard. And you all sang gospel songs and played piano. So that's a lot of talent between 3 people.
Well, Jerry Lee created a style of piano that we all 3 play, and of course, I'll make a statement on the show. That Jimmy made more money than me and Jerry Lee put together. So, it's one of those things where business is business, but it seemed like the gospel paid off a lot more than the rock and roll and the country music.
Well, I'll tell you what, between, as far as the country music goes, between you, Mickey, and Jerry Lee Lewis, I mean, you're both fabulous, but the Mickey Gilley songs are the ones that really always get to me. They always sound so great. How about, what do you think if we play your favorite, you said... That's All That Matters is your favorite, Mickey Gilley's.
Yeah, That's All That Matters to me. I thought was one of the best records I ever made. And, of course, the folks gave me, 17 #1 songs. And I was listening to the Sirius radio not too long ago, and they played Paradise Tonight by me and Charlie McLean. And I'm thinking, when I first heard the song, I didn't think much of it. But after listening to it again, I can understand why the fans made it a #1 song for us, because it was a pretty good tune.
Well, the message in That's All That Matters to Me Well, it touches my heart. I think that's just a special song, and I tell you what, let's listen to it. Mickey, you be the DJ. You set it up, and I'll just roll it here, okay?
Okay, Bob, I made a lot of recordings in my career, and people always ask me what my favorite songs are, and this happens to be one of my favorite tunes that I recorded back in the 80s. It's called That's All That Matters to Me.
All right, we seem to have, Bob's done something wrong here, Mickey. It's live radio, and I don't know what I've done here, but...
Sound like you took off on another song.
Oh, no, I've got CDs mixed up here is what I've done. I'm doing that from time to time, now I don't know where I put the doggone CD. It's got to be here, and...
you want me to do it acapella form?
Well, I'll tell you, what you could.
I know I'm not your first love.
Oh, my. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm going to have to go looking for it. I've got to follow the trail of breadcrumbs as to where Bob left it. I don't
know what you were playing there, but it sounded pretty good.
Well, it was actually an Eddie Arnold cut there.
Oh.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I like Eddie.
How about, here's another, every one of your songs has such a great message in them. How about Headache Tomorrow or A Heartache Tonight? Should we roll that one?
That's my favorite drinking song.
All right, my favorite drinking song too,
yeah,
Mickey.
My favorite drinking song.
Okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to look up this disc here, and so we'll roll Headache Tomorrow or A Heartache Tonight. My guest is Mickey Gilley. Here we go. Mickey Gilley, A Headache Tomorrow or A Heartache Tonight. Classic Country, KSJB. Mickey Gilley's my guest this afternoon. Mickey, I found the CD. I had left it in our production studio this morning and didn't put it back in the jewel case, but I've got it here, and we should play it here before we do anything else because it's your favorite, and it's certainly one of my favorites. Of course, all of your Mickey Gilley songs are my favorites, but That's All That Matters to Me has always really touched my heart when I hear it. So now we can roll it. I'm going to let you set it up again. Can you do that, Mickey?
Yeah, sure. Well, once again, I'd like to say that I get a lot of requests in my show for a lot of different songs, and the most popular question I get is, what's your favorite song out of all the tunes you've recorded? And I always make the statement that Room Full of Roses has a special place in my heart. The Girls Get Pretty Closing Time, the best song ever handed to me. But That's All That Matters to Me was my favorite recording. And here it is.
Classic Country, KSJB, That's All That Matters to Me. Mickey Gilley. Mickey's my guest from Branson, Missouri this afternoon. You've certainly picked out the right song. It's absolutely perfect, Mickey.
Well, that's one of my favorite recordings. I don't think that I could go back in and record it any better than I did the first time, and that was back in the 80s. No, but it is one of my favorite songs. I think it's a pretty love song.
It's beautiful, and it touches so many people and so many of their relationships and everything. It says it for all of us. I tell you what, I'd like to play some more Mickey Gilley songs and everything. Can you hold for a moment while I burn off some commercials? Okay, we'll just...
Absolutely.
All right, we'll do it right now. Mickey Gilley's my guest from Branson, Missouri, and Mickey and I'll be right back. Guest this afternoon on Classic Country KSJB is Mickey Gilley. Sure a pleasure to have you on the air. Mickey, I've admired your work for years.
Well, I appreciate that. I've been in the business for quite some time. At my theater, I'm doing my life story in music, and I tell the people, I'm going to take you to 1957 when I started, to 1974 when Room Full of Roses hit. I'm going to take you through 17 years of my career in 7 minutes. So it's quite a ride.
Absolutely. Now, before you became a country superstar, Mickey, then you worked in construction, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I worked in Houston. We were laying sanitary and storm sewer pipe. I ran a dozer. I ran a ditch machine. I did a little bit of everything. I was sort of what they call a gopher. I'd go for whatever they wanted,
I know it. Tell me about it. That's the way it is with lots of us. And let's see, you had your own record label, Astro, and then you had another label too, Playboy Records. Am I right?
Well, when I released The Room Full of Roses on Astro Records, because the lady that had the jukebox in Gilley wanted me to record, she called me Baby All Night Long. I went in and recorded that song, and for the flip side, I picked Room Full of Roses to do, and the record hit for me. And it's on Astro, so I flew out to Los Angeles, and Playboy Records picked it up and took it nationally for me, because all the record labels in in Nashville wasn't interested in it because they knew I had a nightclub in Texas and we were booking acts, and they thought that it was just it was just a local, it was going to be a local thing, and it wasn't going to go any further than that. But it became my first #1 record.
It just goes to show, Mickey, experts don't always know what they're talking about.
Well, every now and then a recording will hit for you that you had no idea that. I didn't know that Room Full of Roses was a hit record either when I recorded it, because I grew up singing it with Jimmy and Jerry, and Jerry had never overlooked the song before, and so when I recorded it, it was for the B-side. Radio station flipped it in Houston, started playing it, and it took off.
Now here's another one of your songs, Mickey, that it sets a mood for me. And I know when I was out in Montana, especially in the evening after dark and everything, I'd listen to this Mickey Gilley song, and I could actually picture the city lights.
The City Lights was a good record for me. I made several runs at it before we decided on the particular version that we picked, and it became a #1 single, written by Bill Anderson, and of course it was originally recorded by Ray Price.
All right, then, Mickey, you set it up here, intro it here, and I'll get it rolling for us.
City Lights is a song that was my 4th #1 single in the country music charts, written by Bill Anderson. Here it is, City Lights.
To a street of city lights.
Mickey Gilley, City Lights, that's the good stuff, Mickey. I love that song.
Hey, I appreciate it. The fans have been nice to me in my career, give me 17 #1 songs. And if people come to the theater in Branson, I'm doing all 17 of them in the show now. I take them through my life story from the 1957 when I started, and play them some of the recordings that you probably never heard before. When I get through playing a couple of the records that I made in the early years, I tell them, I said, now you know why it took me 17 years to have a hit.
I tell you what, now, Mickey, just so you know, where we're able to be heard this afternoon, KSJB goes clear up to Winnipeg, Canada, on ground reception, down into South Dakota Pier, and the Black Hills, Rapid City. We go down to the Nebraska border, up into northwest Minnesota, and we cover, Grand Forks in North Dakota, Fargo, Moorhead, and the state capital, Bismarck. And then down there in Branson, they can listen to us at KSJBAM.com because we stream around the world.
Hey, that's wonderful. I get to play up in Canada every now and then. I go up to Casino Rama, and that's a very nice casino, and we have a great time. We go up there, too.
Now, Mickey, you were awarded a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame for recording, and that's at 6930 Hollywood Boulevard in Hollywood, California. That's quite an honor.
Yeah, it's right across the street from the Grunman Chinese Theater. So I tell the people in the show, if you want to find that star, go to the Grunman Chinese Theater, walk across the street, you'll find that star. Take you some polish and some rags and shine it for me.
I tell you what, I've got... there's so many Mickey Gilley songs. We only have so much time. I'm just going to mention a couple of titles for you, Mickey. You might guide me on this. How I've got True Love Ways. We've got everything here. Room Full of Roses. And another one that I think is so special, Mickey, is You've Got Something on Your Mind.
Yeah, that one didn't do. That was not a #1 song for me, but True Love Ways was #1, and Room Full of Roses was #1. The one that Bring It On Home is the one I won an award for, too, for one of the better songs in the Academy Country Music Award show.
Bring It On Home.
Yeah, Bring It On Home. It was a remake of the old Sam Cooke tune, I did it a little bit different, and it became a #1 single. So
I think we've got it. I'm not absolutely totally certain here, but I'll go looking. And Mickey, in my opinion, and I really mean this, like you were talking about, You've Got Something on Your Mind didn't go to #1 and everything. Every one of your songs deserved to be #1.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. I think that I've had some great songs handed to me. Maybe the performance wasn't exactly like it should have been. When I look back on my career and I go back and listen to some of the songs, I thought they were great songs. Maybe the performance wasn't at the par, and that's the reason why they didn't make it to #1. But I can't complain. I've had a great ride in the country music field, and I'm still enjoying singing for the folks. So, I appreciate what always happened to me down through the years. I hate that I failed and hurt myself, but overall, it's been a good ride.
Oh, it absolutely has. Mickey, we've got to run just a few more commercials. Are you up for that?
Yeah, sure.
All right, hang on. Mickey Gilley's my guest in Branson, Missouri. Great to have Mickey on the air with me on Classic Country KSJB. Mickey Gilley and I'll be right back. Classic Country KSJB, my guest from Branson, Missouri this afternoon on KSJB is Mickey Gilley. It's just a pleasure to have you on the air, and I tell you what, I found it. Bring it on home to me.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. It was a #1 single for me. It was a remake of an old tune, and the bottom line, I'm just so fortunate to have made some of the songs that people have had hits with before, and then the people accept me as part of that repertoire of songs that had been produced and recorded. So I feel very honored to have some of those things hit for me.
Well, Mickey, it's talent. You got that wonderful voice, and I've always loved good piano, and you just have a touch with the piano.
Well, I'm praying that my hands will come back where I can do those ivories one more time before I pass to the other side of the world.
Well, you're, of course, all in our thoughts and prayers. Mickey Gilley, my guest. All right, bring it on home to me. Mickey, you set it up. I'll roll it.
This is a song that I recorded back in the 70s, and it's an old Sam Cooke tune called Bring It On Home. Here it is.
Uh-oh. We've got a little problem with our CD here, Mickey. I'm sorry about that. It sometimes, they get a fingerprint on them and then they don't want to play. So, anyway, I think we'll try it again in just a few minutes here. I know the cue for that. I'll run it through the car wash.
Hey, that'd be a good place to run it probably. It's recorded back in the 70s. Maybe you've worn it out.
probably wore it out, but I think I'm going to give it a quick try in just a moment. I wanted to mention a couple of things. Let's see, you have a nice family. You're the father of Michael, and then you have twins, Keith and Kathy,
right?
And then Greg, too, and you got 4 grandchildren and 5 great-grandchildren. That's marvelous.
And Greg just celebrated his birthday yesterday, 47 years old.
47 years old. Happy birthday, Greg.
He's the youngest.
Mickey Gilley's son. Mickey, I tell you what, I just got to do this one more time, run a couple of commercials, and then we'll get Bring It On Home to Me. I think I can get that all ready to go in a moment, okay?
That's fine.
Thanks. Mickey Gilley is my guest on Classic Country, KSJB. And we will hear from Mickey Gilley again in just a quick moment here. My guest this afternoon on Classic Country KSJB is the legendary Mickey Gilley from Branson, Missouri, and it's great to have you here, Mickey. I think I've got Bring It On Home to Me all ready to go now. I think I'm the gambler. I think we can do it the second time.
All right.
All right.
Well, you're going to try to run it one more time, huh?
Run it one more time, and this is your favorite. This is your favorite, isn't it, Mickey?
Well, it's a bluesy tune. I've always liked bluesy type music, I started back in the 50s with, of course, with Elvis and Jerry Lee and Carl Perkins and Roy Orbison. So I started off trying to be a rock and roller, So I always enjoyed the bluesy type music. That's the reason why that I probably sound the way I do on some of the recordings, But I love country because country music to me has a message behind it. That's what I love about That's what I love about country.
That's it. Mickey Gilley, my guest from Branson, Missouri. Mickey, let's go for it here. Let's go all the way through here and Bring It On Home to Me. Here it comes.
Okay.
Bring It On Home to Me. Mickey Gilley, my guest this afternoon on Classic Country KSJB. It's really been a delight to have you on the air with me, Mickey.
It's been a pleasure being on the show, and thanks for having me on. If the people get a chance to come down to Branson, Missouri, I'm only doing 4 shows a week now at the theater. I'm working Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night at 8 o'clock, and Wednesday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then I'm keeping the Fridays and Saturdays open because I'm doing some road dates here and there. So come see me about, I tell you what, this might be my last year in Branson.
Well, to tell you what, Mickey, too, and this is an open invitation, anytime, any afternoon, if you feel like just calling in, you've got the number. You don't have to go announce to anybody. Just give me a call. Go on the air anytime if you feel like it. Maybe there might be something going on down there at the Mickey Gilley Theater in Branson. You might want to publicize. You're always welcome on the air here on KSJB, and just call me and we'll talk any old time.
I appreciate that. We got the hottest group in Branson right now playing at my theater, which I'm very excited about. A group called Six. It's 6 brothers. They don't use a band. They do it all with their vocals, and they're outdrawing everybody in Branson right at the present time. So anybody that wants to come to Branson, Missouri, come by the theater. Six is playing there 6 nights, 4 nights a week and 2 afternoons, and then I'm there for four shows myself. So if they get a chance to come to the theater in Branson, I'd love to invite them.
Sure sounds like fun. And then, of course, you've got your Mickey Gilley nightclub there, too, for refreshments.
Well, we got a restaurant right next door. We got a cantina there, and Gilley Texas Cafe. We do karaoke, and we got a little small dance floor that you get up and dance. Sometimes I go in there, and I get up on the stage and sing some karaoke with the folks. So, you know, we just try to have a fun time and get something going with the audience. So, if they come to Branson, I can tell you they'll have a good time. We got Silver Dollar City here. We got Dixie Stampede. We got the Clay Cooper Theater. We got the Jim Stafford Theater. There's all kind of things that people can do. Great golf courses. Thousand Hills Golf Course, where I used to play golf all the time, so I hurt myself. So if they get a chance, come in and have a good time with us.
Thanks so much, Mickey. Bless your heart. Take good care of yourself. Be safe, and we'll talk to you again sometime.
Thank you, and you come see me.
Take care. I sure will, Mickey. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Backstage Pass with Bob Sands on KSJB has been brought to you by Valley Sales, distributor of the Budweiser family of beers.
You're always the first to know. Backstage Pass.